Welcome to another episode of the Mindset Talk, Marriage and Family, with myself, Stephen. And
Phoebe.
so last week I was in the hot seat when we recorded. Um, and so we're going to delay Phoebe sitting in a hot seat for a little bit because there's some new things coming, and we want to make sure that we present it at the right time. But today we want to talk about the journey of parenting and whether we were ever ready. We'll talk about how it came about and how it was that we never even spoke about it. We never planned it, but we became parents. And so we thought it will be good to share our journey and our experience, and I hope it will impact some lives.
Starting a family should be the most exciting time in a young couple's life. But are we actually ready for it? Do we ask the right questions before you have the children? And we want to unpack that a little bit, but also share our journey of becoming parents. Did we ask each other questions about how we want to parent?
No, we just wanted to be together. That's all. That was really the main intention.
Yeah.
And then children was gonna come afterwards. It was never for myself. I can never think of having dreamt about having a big family and having children.
No, I know that I maybe wanted one or two, but I don't think we even had a conversation about.
No, we never. I never thought about having children. Not that I didn't want children. It was not in my mind.
Yeah.
In my dreams and in my imaginations.
Yeah, I agree. I think we really just were excited to be together. We were excited about getting married. We were excited about moving into our first home together. We would have, crossed that bridge when we got there, and it came sooner than we anticipated. Actually,
much sooner.
Yeah. So what happened for us, and the reason why we never asked the questions, is because we were just newlyweds. We were just blissfully married and experiencing things for the first time. So I started having some challenges physically, and I had to go and see a gynae for the first time as a married woman now. I needed to see myself as a woman, which meant that I needed to do these adult things, like going to see a gynae.
Like a mind shift.
Yeah, it wasn't something that just came naturally. It was like,
Yeah, because we were married, we were still children. In our minds, we were children. In fact, when you look at the pictures, you'll see children.
Yeah, I do feel we were very, very young. So yeah, that was how we went to visit a gynae for the first time. 3 months married. It was in March of 2002 that we went to see a gynae for, was it a doctor? I can't even remember. But and had some examination done and discovered that I had a condition called endometriosis. So endometriosis is obviously some kind of inflammation within the womb, and it is an unhealthy environment to try and conceive. Okay, I'm not going to go into the medical terms for it. It's really a bit complicated, and even for me, it's complicated to explain. But what I understood at the time was that my womb was in an unhealthy state, and it was going to be almost impossible to have children. I don't know how you felt about hearing that.
I can't remember.
Did it even...
It didn't make sense. Like, we were young, and what does that mean? The only time it really made sense is when the doctor said you might not be able to have children. Even then, like I said just now, I never thought of having children, so it wasn't really this deep, sincere desire that I want to have 5 children, right?
Mm.
Because if that was on my mind, and I was gonna freak out and be like, "Hey, what?" I was like, "Go look for another wife. You're not gonna be able to have children." You understand?
Yeah.
I think for me, the concern was your health,
Mm.
not so much the fact that we won't be able to have children. Like I said, for me, uh, the want to be together is why we got married.
Yeah. I do think I had a wake up call in that moment. Because, yes, we never spoke about wanting to have children immediately, but the idea of never being able to have children was more frightening than I had expected. And then I think anxiety just took over
Mm.
because that was difficult to hear. Okay, so being confronted with this challenge of not potentially being able to have children, there was only one mission. What was the mission?
To have children. It's scary when we talk about it now because back then, when we heard the report from the doctor, we did not even sit and talk about or prepare or plan what this new life is going to look like.
Mm.
How many children do we want? Because in the first place, I never even thought of having children.
Yeah. So now we didn't even consider, okay, if we are going to have children,
Yes.
how many children are we going to have?
Yeah.
What does this mean for us?
Yeah.
What does it mean financially? What does it mean in terms of taking responsibility for a child?
Mm.
When they grow older, where will they go to school? What is the plan?
There
What's
was
the
no plan.
vision? What's the goal with having children?
Yeah.
We had nothing.
No idea.
Nothing.
No clue whatsoever.
And the only mission was, let's have a baby.
Mm. That was the only mission.
Yeah.
We'll try and just short circuit this thing and have children. Have children now.
Yeah. And that was the words from the doctor, actually.
Yeah.
If you intend to have children,
do it now.
You must do it now.
And so we just adhered to that instruction. And we did it now. But we were not prepared.
Yeah.
But why we're talking about this is because you have to prepare. It's important to prepare. In previous episodes, we would say it's important for you to choose what type of man or woman you want to be. And then it's important for you to choose what type of husband or wife I'm going to be. And in our journey, none of these discussions were had. I mean, we didn't discuss what the responsibilities are going to be around the house when we got married. And we were frustrated when we walked into marriage because suddenly your unspoken expectations were not met.
Yeah.
And now we're moving into a different realm and we're not talking
Again.
And
about
then,
what the expectations are of us as parents.
yeah.
Yeah.
But tell us about the journey, the conception, and the miscarriages, and how we ultimately ended up with having our firstborn.
After being told that if we intend to have children, that we should do it immediately, it was challenge on, and we went straight ahead, stopped all contraceptives, and mission was have a baby, have a baby, have a baby, right? Eventually, I don't even remember the timeline, but soon after, we were pregnant, and we were excited to be pregnant. It was like, okay, that wasn't so difficult after all. We were pregnant. I think I was very excited to do the pregnancy tests, and because I was so aware of the fact that we were trying to have a baby, I was checking my cycles almost like consistently, like clockwork, right? I was in there. So we went to go and get a scan done, probably the first scan, and the news was not so great. So the doctor let us know that there is an embryo. The pregnancy test was not lying. We were pregnant, but there was no heartbeat. And suggested that we come back a few weeks later. Maybe there's still some development that is happening. Let's check again in a few weeks. And that was a very tough 2 weeks for us. I remember at first being excited, telling people, and then after the news that there's no heartbeat, didn't want to talk about it at all. So we just went silent, or I did, in fact. I don't even think we spoke about it. It was just a time of waiting and waiting in silence. After the second checkup, there was still no heartbeat, and we knew that the pregnancy was not viable, and I needed to go through a DNC to clear out the womb, and then we tried again.
Yeah, but I mean, for people who were never planning, really didn't have an expectation, now going down that journey, it was still heartbreaking to have to experience that loss.
Yeah.
So we tried again.
We did. And a few months later, we were pregnant again. And all of this is in the first year of our marriage. So we busy navigating being husband and wife, managing our new household, and the added pressure now of trying to become parents just added to so many dynamics that our marriage was experiencing. But now we were pregnant for the second time. This time I was a little bit more careful not to say anything to many people. Went we were excited to hear our heartbeat. We were excited to now be experiencing a pregnancy that seemed to be going well. And after a couple of weeks, I think 8 weeks into the second pregnancy, at work I started to bleed, and I knew it wasn't a good sign, but I wasn't expecting it to be the end of the pregnancy. So managed to get to the hospital to see my gynae, and the news wasn't great. I had lost our second baby. Yeah.
It was heartbreaking.
Very
heartbreaking. Because this time the expectation was greater.
Yeah.
The hope that we'll succeed this time was greater. It was really tough.
It was a painful loss.
Yeah. But we thank God for supportive parents and praying parents who were there for us to encourage us.
Yeah.
I remember my father's words when I phoned him. He said, "You have to encourage yourself in the Lord." And a lot of times we just needed those reassuring words of our parents that it's going to be okay. We don't know how, but it's going to be okay.
Yeah, and I think also having spoken to my mother was the first time that I heard that she had gone through miscarriages herself. And I remember wondering, why is it that nobody talks about this? Why is it that nobody even warns you that this is a possibility? Because that was the first time I was confronted with miscarriages. Like, what is this? I never knew that it happened. And I never knew what emotional trauma it creates, and the loss that you actually feel, because many people grieve the loss of a baby or somebody that was alive, but a baby or something that was growing inside of you that you didn't even get to see, we grieved it like the baby was with us.
And yet you have people that would terminate those pregnancies by choice. And you have couples that wants to start families that can't. So having experienced all of that, it made it all the more heavier to bear.
Yeah. But God was faithful to us, and He kept us during that time. I do remember feeling like a Hannah. I do remember feeling barren. I do remember feeling like what that doctor said is now just become my reality, that I may never have children. And when a pattern starts forming and you are now confronted with this may never happen for me, then it's the only thing that you want. Nothing else mattered. I don't even think that I saw Stephen as my husband anymore. He was just supposed to be the person that is supposed to get me pregnant. That's how it was, and it became a very unhealthy state of mind that I was in at the time. Yeah. And then God remembered us yet again.
Yes, He did.
And in December of 2022, we were pregnant for the third time.
2002.
What did I say?
2022. It's just
Yes.
now.
No.
Oh, the other day.
Many
During
years ago.
COVID.
Okay, 2002, December, we were pregnant for the third time. And this time, I told nobody.
Yeah, no, she told nobody. People were shocked when they heard that she gave birth.
Yeah.
Shocked. Shocked.
Yeah, so we were finally blessed with a baby girl, but that didn't come, as planned either.
Yeah.
We had a challenging pregnancy. I hid the pregnancy for a long time, many trips to hospital, and at 28 weeks, our baby girl was born. And she was born prematurely, under a lot of pressure to survive, fighting for her life every single day.
Yeah.
But God kept her. And I think our parenting journey started the day she was born. Like,
Started very rough, very rocky. 3 months in hospital. Yeah. It was rough.
A lot of pressure on us as well. Yeah.
A lot of pressure on our faith and our belief. We say we believe in this God. So from early days in marriage, we had to put our trust in Him, that He'll carry us through. Yeah. So seeing that small person, I think when she came home, she was weighing 1.2 kilos, and she could lay and sleep on a scatter cushion.
Yeah.
These small cushions that you have on your couches.
That was a bed.
She could comfortably, that was a bed, comfortably lay on there. That's how small she was. Fragile. And the growing up journey wasn't easy, because
No,
it
she was
in and out of hospital, in and out for years.
Yeah.
Now think about it. You haven't planned for this journey. You are here because of a report that you got, and now you're faced with all of these uphill battles.
In rearing a child.
Yeah.
And it was difficult also on us, because it became a financial strain, right? I obviously had stopped working much sooner than I anticipated. I wasn't getting a full salary anymore.
Yeah.
Stephen was now the primary breadwinner for us. There was additional costs in going to the hospital every day, and just taking care of things, because I spent my days at the hospital. Yeah. There was no cooking happening.
No.
I don't even know what we were eating.
Don't know. It's a blur.
It is
Maybe
a
we were fasting and
blur.
praying for 3 months.
And when she came home, the dynamics changed again.
Yeah. It changed drastically.
Yeah.
Because you had to keep an eye on her 24/7. Because she would sleep for 5 minutes.
Serious sleep deprivation was going on there. your Stephen had to go to work, so I felt sorry enough for him to say, "Don't worry, I got this." But I was running on nothing. I was running on nothing. I think she tired me out. I was exhausted.
Yeah.
I was frustrated. I was scared, and I was alone. I felt very alone
Yeah.
in that journey.
It was tough in this relationship.
Yeah.
It was really tough. It was make or break.
Mm.
But we made it through.
We did. We did.
Yeah, now today she cross questions us.
Yeah, I think with the second baby coming into play,
There I didn't want to go.
Yeah,
I didn't want to go down the road for number 2.
we had such a challenging first baby experience that I think at some point we were like, "It's enough, Lord. We've been through the most year. We are grateful for this gift of life. The doctor's report was nullified. We have a baby."
Yeah.
And we were content until she was growing up and she was a little lonely. And I felt it. I could sense that this child needs company. She needs entertainment. She was happiest when she was around her cousins. So, but when they were apart, she was lonely. And I kind of fueled the desire.
She tricked me.
I did not trick you. But we had a lot of conversations about having a second baby. Understanding that there may be complications, we have to prepare ourselves again mentally, emotionally for, what could be a repeat of the first time. But God is faithful, and we had a very smooth second pregnancy.
Yeah, except for when she was born.
Yeah, tough delivery journey there when
Yeah.
she was born. Was not planning to have a cesarean birth. We went in to have induced labor.
Yeah.
And that then eventually went haywire, and we were then forced to go to an emergency C-section birth because baby went into distress, and we needed to make sure that she was delivered quickly and safely. Yeah, so it was a little bit dramatic.
Yeah.
But she came out healthy and big and strong. So now we had 2 little babies to take care of. And again, we didn't talk about the dynamics of having 2.
Yeah, no, you can see the pattern here now. We don't talk. We don't plan. We just go for it.
We figured
And
it
hope
out.
for the best. That's not the best way to plan your life.
Yeah.
Planning is important.
So what should we have asked? As what would be the parent roles and responsibilities? We should have asked questions like, who's getting up at night?
Yes.
Is there going to be a schedule?
Yeah.
Is there going to be a timetable? How do we make sure that it's balanced?
Yeah. I mean, questions we should have asked is how many children are we intending to have? How are we going to raise them? Where will they go to school? I mean, all those things we never asked.
Who's going to be the disciplinarian?
Yes.
What are going to be the principles and beliefs that we're going to rear them with? So we never spoke about that. And then when the time came, how did we actually manage this? By assumption.
We were winging it. We were winging it. You see, for me, I had a lot of nieces and nephews when we were growing up in the house, and so having to look after them, you think it's easy until it's your own, because you look after them just for that period of time, and then they go to their parents or my parents are back home, and that's not your lifetime responsibility. But when it becomes your lifetime responsibility, think carefully before you have children while you're in your marriage. Get to know each other, enjoy each other as a couple first. Live your lives, discover each other, and then determine and plan what type of parents are we going to be? How are we going to navigate this thing?
Because the introduction of children changes your life, right?
Yeah.
It changes your financial situation. It changes your ability to be spontaneous and to just do things on the fly. You now have to consider these human beings that are dependent on you, right?
Yeah.
You can't just move around freely.
Nope.
Nothing is the same.
That's not the same. Nothing is not the same.
Oh.
It definitely changes that dynamic, and that's why it's important to plan and have these conversations.
Yeah.
These type of things that we've experienced breaks up some marriages. Some relationships can't handle it. And it's not because we were stronger. It's only by the grace of God that we made it through. There's no comparison. No relationship is the same, ever the same. No circumstance is ever the same. No two miscarriages are the same. The trauma and the experience is different. But it's important in life, and that's for me the challenge that we would like to pose to couples out there is that you prepare and plan. You must have a plan. Where there's no vision, people perish, the scripture says. And so if we fail to plan, we plan to fail. And we need to build our families with intention. Know what's the vision for our family. And when the children come, that we're able to instill the same principles in their lives, guide and coach and say, when you choose your life partner, don't do this, do that.
Because that's really ultimately the stewardship aspect of parenting. Yes. We have to steward and look after these gifts God has given us and prepare them for life. And most of the time, we usually see our children as burdens or what do they call them? Party poopers, the fun killers. They've taken away something from you. But if we understand the responsibility that God has placed on us as parents, we have to, like Stephen says, plan to do that in the best possible way. Yep. So that's our challenge today to you. Our story was not easy. Yep. Becoming parents was not easy, but when we were now parents, fully entrenched in this life of having to rear children, the dynamics changed. Our relationship also changed, right? Yep. There was much more that was introduced into this dynamic, but it was all because we didn't plan how we were going to manage.
Yeah, and it's important that we make known to couples that the union that you have to protect is this union. Because one of the things that happens a lot of times in marriage is when the children come in the picture, then they get center stage. And then the marriage relationship is neglected. I've heard of marriages that after the children are grown and married, that they fall apart. And after 40 years of marriage, you get divorced. That's a waste. So it's important that this relationship is nurtured and protected, because this relationship holds the family together. The children that comes along, that forms part of the family, needs this union to stand strong. So that will be my final challenge that I would like to give to couples today, that we nurture this union, that the two of us stand together. We are united, we are one, we are a team, and together we will overcome whatever challenges come our way.
So thank you for joining us in this week's episode. Let us know what your challenges are as parents. We'd love to engage with you as well and learn from you as well. And if you are still looking for a way to communicate better as a couple, get our 7-day prayer guide. The link is in the bio. Until next week, cheers.
Ciao.